Good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Morning, Mr. Ed and Mr. Paul. Hope you gentlemen are having a good start to your Thanksgiving. Or if not, just having a good start to your day. Some people don't celebrate it like others, but that is all right. We all still have things to be thankful for. I myself thankful for family and friends like y'all. I'm thankful I've got a good job and a good roof over my head, food in my stomach when I need it. Pretty much just thankful all the time. Try to be. So, let's talk about it. Yesterday, most of the time I used this knife, but I also had this one in my pocket again. Morning, Mr. Scott. Finally got a day off of work during the week, huh? Yeah, this one has all kinds of tape residue on it. Up there on the blade. Need to get that off. Good morning, Michael. Morning, Christopher. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Yeah, that's why I said some people, Ed, celebrate it differently, but we're all thankful for some things. Did Pete pop in here? Did I see Pete? Somebody said hi to Pete, but I don't see Pete's message. Huh. Wonder what's going on with that. Good morning, Tommy. Thanks for joining us this morning, sir. Let's see here. Oh, Scott? All right. Yeah, I thought maybe something was wrong with my chat. Sometimes it glitches out, doesn't show everything like it's supposed to. Yeah, Ed's got plenty to be thankful for. Sometimes family isn't all it's cut out to be anyway. Depends on, some friends have been closer than family, so. I have some friends very thankful for. It's hard to find friends that want to see you be the best version of yourself that you can be. And those are the kind of friends I appreciate. Let's see. Yeah, Tommy, I haven't seen you around as much. We missed you in the chat. So I did a lot of thinking this morning about which knife we were going to practice on. I know yesterday I said I was probably going to do the Rosie. But I decided that I wanted to test a couple of things today. I have not done a super ton of lightning anno. I've done some. I've gotten some good results. I don't have it down enough. I haven't done it enough to where I know if I heat it exactly this long, it'll turn this color or, all that stuff. So we're still learning. because I haven't done it enough. So I decided that we would do a couple of things this morning as far as learning about lightening NO and entropic NO. I've got 3 parts here. And on one of them, we're going to do a full lightning NO. I have polished it somewhat. I have not tried to get it to a mirror polish, but I have done like a 10-minute polish with that 15,000 grit diamond paste. We've got a backspacer that I did polish the edge of. And then we've got a clip that I did not polish at all. And I would like to see the difference between the full polish at the end and the clip that is not polished. I can bead blast these and get them back, or sand them and get them back. And we might talk about that also, because people have asked me, can you reverse, lightning NO as easy as the other? And the answer is no, you can't do it as easily, but you can do it. So I just thought we would go over all that, but we don't have to necessarily. I've got the station set up out in the garage to do the actual lightning NO with my ferric chloride and my gloves and my wire and the torch. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, smash that like button if you don't mind. So yeah, and the knife I decided to pick, instead of the Rosie for now, was the Ontario Knives Carter Prime, because it is one of the best values for the $32 that I paid for it, for all the titanium that you get with this thing. You get a titanium clip, titanium backspacer, I think possibly even titanium hardware. I think Ed knows the answer to that. But this is the polished one. This is non-polished. And this is the backspacer with the top of it polished. Bottom of it is non-polished. The part that will show is polished. And I do not know what happened, but something happened when I took this knife apart, or maybe it came this way. I've not anodized this one. So I've not tried to get this lock bar insert out, but I do not have any bits that will fit in there. Yeah, Ed has one for sure. But I do not have a bit that will fit in those and turn those, so I could not get those out. So I'm not going to be able to lightning NO this side today. Like I said, this is just a test. We're not trying to make a beautiful knife. I just wanted to show how you do it. I will either sand or bead blast this one back to factory probably anyway. So this side being regular does not matter. But I don't know what's happened to this lock bar insert. I cannot get any bits that I have to fit in there and turn. So either they got stripped out. The Carter Prime, Ed, being all titanium backspacer clip. I think you even said something about maybe the pivot or the outsides of the pivot, not the. I haven't actually checked, but I think these might be titanium as well. Let's see. Nope, they feel like they are steel. Yeah, they are steel. So not the pivots, but the backspacer and clip. If I left them in when I did my lightning NO, they might get too hot. They would get red hot, and it might not affect anything per se with the heat NO. But with the electricity, it would start forming rust on the metal around where it contacts the titanium. And like I said, this is not a knife that I want to look lightning NO. It's just one we're going to test. Yeah, I always set mine to live chat. Yeah, I set mine to live. I do that before I even begin the broadcast, just to make sure I'm keeping up with what's going on at the time it's coming up. What is that? Is that? Oh yeah, that's part of the Carter Prime. But anyway, are there any super cool Black Friday sales that we need to go look at, or any knives y'all want to talk about or look at? It looks like I could look at the Discord. Looks like PC got 20 knives in the mailbox again. And some cool mods. Waylon started working on the scales on his knife. He contoured them. And he did jimping. I'm not sure if the jimping was already there and he just added more. But it looks great, whatever you did. Knife picks. Guess he got one of the new Bastides we were just talking about. Let's see. Yeah, it looks a lot bigger. That's good. Sounds good too. And it looks like he got a lot more knives in after that. Let's see. Pocket check. Looks like Ed had his Strix again last night, along with the Ben Rear. Beautiful lanyards, as usual. Good morning, William. Morning, Cliff. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. And JT carried his J-Cape, looks like, yesterday. PC's Spectre. Aaron's always got those bangers. So I guess that's about it. Oh yeah, I've got on my Grand Seiko homage knife watch that I built. That is what I'm actually wearing today and have been wearing for the last couple of days. I love the white birch look. Just a classic. White watches just look kind of classic. All right. Michael has a link for us to look at. Oh, that's the dagger knives. That is a weird one, for sure. I think the only thing I like about that knife is the thumb ramp. This little pin back here is very odd. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Never seen that before. Dagger is the one that has those skull clips, like I put on, like Williams got on his mini. Thank you, Michael. Like on his mini Osborne that I sent him, the shipwrecked one has that same clip. This is a weird knife. 10.5 inches overall. Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, 4.75-inch spear blade. Is it sharpened on both sides? Secondary locking system. An insertable bar can be screwed in, yeah. So that little bar I was talking about is, of course, a little secondary lock, but so tiny. It's weird. And it's weird it's at the other end of the knife, too. A lot of weird things going on with that knife. Yeah, William, it's got the same clip as that mini Osborne I sent you. All right, anything else y'all want to look at before we get started on some anno? Happy Thanksgiving, Mr. John. I like that one better because it doesn't have that dagger blade or that spear point blade. Yeah, that's a crazy big knife too for 36 bucks. $10.75 overall. The Pedro. Yeah, I prefer the Shirogorov Pero. I like this Pero better. Got a clone of that one. Not quite as big, but a little more expensive. Yeah, I said that, Ed, about the pin. It's just weird it's at the other end of the knife. And it doesn't really make it a fixie, but it does help, I guess. I always think of that as a cheap add-on to a knife that they're trying to make it into something that's really not. Quite a few knives have that pin. I've got an Extrema Ratio one that has that I think I didn't sell. I might have sold it. It might be laying, hold on, right out here. Let me look. Yeah, so I guess it's the only one I did sell was the one I had that had that little pin that goes through the blade. Oh, really, Michael? Nice. I was wanting to get some of those. Get one of those. Which one is available? Z-Wear, a lot of them. Thank you for that, Michael. I've been wanting one of these. I think I'm going to grab a Magnamax one for 75 bucks. Oh, it's sold out. Dang it, which ones are still available? Is AEBL still available? Yes. Oh, nice, Christopher. Yeah, I think I'm going to... Let me figure out which blades still I want out of the ones left. So the Z-Wear, I do like. Plain edge. Morning, John. Hinderer put out a new series last night. All right. Spy 27. Straight spine. What we got going on? What's different? I don't see anything different. Oh, the blade shape? Yeah, the blade shape. All right, yeah, I wasn't even paying attention. K294? What is K294? Well, it's not available anyway. What is Hick? What is Hick? High impact ceramic. Okay. I see them doing their ceramic thing. Yeah, the Spy 27 has a different blade shape. Blade is different, so it does not say when, but I'm going to add my email. I think I might wait on it. Knives are live. There he is. Thank you for hopping in on Thanksgiving, sir. Hope you and your family have a great Thanksgiving as well. I knew you'd pop out of the woodworks here sometime. Good to see you, by the way, Mr. Bob. Now, don't be such a stranger. All right, so John said Hinderer had a new video on YouTube. Let's go see if we can find that. Subscribe, all videos, latest new series announcement.
Hi, everybody.
Pause it. Make sure we got audio. Oh, thank you, sir. Thanks for adding that like button.
Rick here, and I have an announcement to make that for the past few months have been generating a lot of excitement around the shop, and I know the past few days. Of course, we all know what this week is. This Friday is Black Friday. So, yeah, it's the anticipation has just been it's been unbelievable for this year's. So, as you know, last year was the last year for the card series, and we decided to do something different this year. Obviously, we want to be able to offer our Black Friday project, which everybody with the card series really has enjoyed that whole series. I mean, I felt after last year the series kind of ran its course, and frankly, I was in the mood to do something different.
Hinderer seems like a decent fella to me.
Been weighing heavily on the minds of all you guys out there that have really enjoyed the Black Friday drops with the card series. So this year, what did we do? So we went a little bit different, but believe me, you guys are absolutely going to love this. I think it's one of the best series that we've done, the best coordinative project, put it that way. So I kind of like, I could keep stringing you guys out, but I'm sure you're probably sitting there thinking, Rick, just shut up and tell us already. So this new series we call the Artistry series. Now,
yeah, the new factors do look good.
Alone should kind of tell you a little bit about where we're going with this. So, artistry, art. So, in my history of making knives, for many years, I made art knives. And these knives I call them art knives, but they're knives that have been embellished a lot. Anywhere from using exotic handle materials to, I made my own Damascus back then, so a lot of the blades were Damascus blades. And, ivory handles, mammoth ivory handles, things like that. And they were really, really cool to look at.
This video is 9 minutes. We'll watch a little bit of it.
More like art knives. So I wanted to get back into that a little bit and kind of make a project that everybody.
Yeah, I think that's why John said he's just going to order the box.
As well as to just totally knock your socks off. And this first project, and I want to get back into history a little bit. So one of the aspects of embellishing arms, which goes back many, many, many years. I don't know exactly when, but a few hundred years probably. And that has been the art of engraving metal. So that'll give you kind of a clue of what we're talking about with this new series, or new project actually, in the artistry series. And so hand engraving goes back, again,
all right.
From your,
are we going to see anything? We're just going to hear a bunch of stuff.
Material from whether it be gold, silver, most of the time it's silver, copper, and even titanium. So there's another clue of what you're going to see. So what we're going to have this year is actually in our new artistry series, or this project, is 3 different levels. So in the past, we've had, the card series was really 2 levels, but you had the regular, 52 cards, but then you had the 2 jokers. So it's kind of like, the 2 jokers were always a little bit more different, had a little bit more embellishment. So this year we're actually going to have 3 different levels, and they're all going to be XM18s built on the engraved theme. So what that is we have on the first 2 levels, we have 2 different levels of engraving.
Spilled coffee again.
We partnered with a hand engraver out of Canton, Ohio, named Tyler Prince. And he's absolutely fantastic engraver. We found him earlier in the year and really, really like the work that he does. And these are all hand engraved. So he did all of this by hand. So the top layer, we're going to have 5 knives made in the upper layer. And those are hand engraved with a scroll type engraving with gold inlay, 24 karat gold inlay. So 5 with the first level are going to be all Damascus. So also on the top, the top tier, top level of gold inlaid engraved knives. Also, an extra bonus will be a steel
Morning, Audio-itis.
3D horsehead clip. You guys have seen them before. You love them.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And that's really going to even top it off even more. The next level down is the same XM18s, and the engraving is a little bit different style engraving. No gold inlay, but the engraving is a little bit different style, and again, it's all hand engraved by Tyler. And then the second level, the clip is actually going to be also a hand engraved clip. So Tyler engraved a really nice scroll on those clips for that level. So again, they'll really look good on it. So for the blades for the second level are going to be, again, they're XM18s, like a matte finish. It's something a little bit different than what we've done in the past. So, and the third level is going to be a really cool machine engraved pattern that we came up with here in the shop. So the team got together and we all came up with this, what we thought would look just absolutely dynamite, of a scroll type engraving. So it kind of follows some of the old style scroll engraving, but done with the CNC mills, and it just they just turned out fantastic. You guys are gonna really love them. And the third level, the blades are going to be like a matte finish, which will go fantastic with the machine engraving. So another surprise that we have for you this year for this project is
box.
really, really cool, and you're going to like it. It's in the tabs. Obviously, we like to do a lot of things with our tabs for the knives. So this year you're going to get, on this project, the 2025 year tabs. However, the 2025 is going to be in a script, which will go with the engraving, with the scroll engraving. So the 2025 is going to be done in a script. They're only going to be available on these particular knives. So there's going to be pretty engraved finish. It's going to be something that's pretty cool too. Another thing I wanted to talk about is we're really excited about is the display. So we're going to have boxes this year, but the cool thing about the display box is we're actually making them right here at the ranch. And the box is actually really, really nicely figured walnut. And by the way, these boxes are going to be across all 3 levels.
I could do all that with my laser.
The pouch actually it is actually a really beautiful embroidered pouch. All right, and drop time. So the drop is going to be obviously this Friday, Black Friday at noon. So get ready, get your fingers ready.
Tomorrow at noon.
Good luck, everybody.
Well, thank you for that, Mr. John. Audiolitis. What did you think of the 2 knives I posted in the Discord as links for you? I know you're a bug out fan, but what do you think of those 2? These are 3 Hinderer designs. This one reminded me of the cards thing he was talking about because of the ace. That is the full track. But I was curious what you thought of those bug outs, Mr. Audiolitis. So I don't know if you saw that I tagged you in a link, but OK Knives has an automatic version of the bug out, which I did not know was a thing. I'm still not sure it's a thing. But are they about to release? Did they release one? Are they looking at one? Or is this something that just got made separately? So yeah, I can go over them here. You don't have to go to the Discord. But this was the first one, was the Bug Out Auto. And then the second one I linked to you was a weird colored one that would go with your colored varieties. It is an acrylic handle with the coated blade bug out. And not my style, but I know you have a lot of different versions. So I thought that might go good with your collection, even though they are, of course, fakes. But $28 and $33 for the auto. I guess we could look up Bug Out Auto. Maybe that's something they're going to be coming out with. Who knows? Triple E EDC. Does Benchmade already make an automatic bug out? Oh, that's what you're calling a different knife. Basically the same thing. That is odd. Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, the Lamifshi one with carbon fiber and purple is pretty good too, Christopher. All right, Michael, what kind of link we got here? Spidey Chef, $2.19. Does it have the lock bar insert? That would be my question. Let's go to Knife Joy. Knife Joy is another site that has some crazy sales every now and then. No lock bar insert. I know they, the Slice Bowie, sorry. They did produce a version, I believe, that has the lock bar insert. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, John, I agree. I just wish this knife had a lock bar insert instead of titanium on steel. But great knife nonetheless. I love my clone. Yeah, I believe they make somebody makes one that's got the lock bar insert, I think. Is it V2? Maybe it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this exclusive. And maybe the slice, maybe the Spidey Chef does have one, because I believe this one is internal. Yeah, you can see it barely back in there. So it might have one on the Spidey Chef. It might just be screwed in from the inside and mounted from the inside. See, it says new feature, lock bar insert over travel stop. It's on the inside. Let's go back and see if that Spidey Chef. I did not notice on it. Let's see. No. It is not listed as you can't see it through there. So, the Knife Joy exclusive of this one does have it. Yeah, I would imagine that blue does come off pretty easily. That's no good, Pete. So now you're thankful for the internet, huh? Are there any other good on knife deals this morning? There's a nice detent ramp. Very nice. Super cool to see. Who did that one? First attempt on the FSDI clone. Yeah, very nice detent ramp. Good job, T Hatton 8769. Knife deals. A buck 119 clip point, $56. Mule Team. Spidey Chef. C Designs Black Friday sale has just dropped. Go check that out and see. What they got going on. Oh, you using a hotspot? Let's see. Let's go back to the main page. 10 pack of gold blades. Black Friday deal. Free gold blades. Spend $300 and get a free Tyrant Razor V3 Cascadia. Or get a free Rampant R4 aluminum and titanium. Guess that's a flashlight, maybe? That's pretty cool. Okay, thank you, Trent. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, sir. No, we just talk about what's going on in the knife world. If that happens to be sales, it happens to be sales. And your comment says it all. Kind of a little bit of projection going on there. Yeah, Demcos are on sale quite a few places, like was said. Who said that up there? Michael said that. Turkey carving knives. Yeah, we could do that. Let's we got to do a little bit of lightning anno today because it's in the title. Let me put these three back up. I love this Eclipse. Oh, it's fine, Cliff. He's showing his own ignorance without help from us. But it is what it is. So, something else I wanted to do, thought we would do that with this piece, was go through and see, we're going to, on this one, we're not going to do a lightning anno. On these two, we are. We're just going to do a heat anno on this one because I know some of y'all have asked about doing heat anodization. So since you have to heat it up, to do entropic anyway, I thought we would do the backspacer and just the different shades of colors that you can get by heating it up. But I guess we could go look at a few carving knives. See if anything pops out. Let's go to Amazon for that for now. Carving knives. Anything jumping out at us here? Brisket slicing carving knife. Black Friday deals. 7-inch. I've got one of these knives. A Zwilling. I used to have a Wusthof. Shun Classic. Yeah, I don't take offense from trolls on the internet. If I did, I would be upset constantly. I think their comments speak loudly of who they are, and anyone can see who's the one actually suffering and in pain and who's lashing out. Kind of mirrors back and points towards them. So he's probably worried about his own finances and doing a little bit of projection. Yeah, electric carvers are straight cheating. I agree. Let me go check and see if for some reason the Vipon site has codes for any kind of carving knives today. Let's do promo codes only. They have a little 7-inch. Hold on. $9 Japanese knife. Let's see what else they got here. There's a boning knife. That would almost work. Fish knife for left hand. Don't forget to add blinker fluid. Fillet knife. What else we got? Butcher's knives. Chef's knives. What else we got? 8-inch multi-purpose chef's knife. Couple of folding knives, half off. A weird look, big old fixed blade there. I kind of like that one. As long as it didn't break the first time you used it. Morning, TC. Happy Thanksgiving. Barbecue knives that I showed the other day. Great carvers. I don't remember which ones those were. Yes, I know these ones on sale. This one right here. It's only 30% off, so it's not a great deal. Let's see. They're all about 30% off. Some of them 50% off. All right. Let's see here. All right, let's get to doing a little bit of anno. So first, we're going to stay in here. We're going to take the torch and we're going to heat up this back spacer until it changes some color. And I will stop at the different stages and we will look at it. We will start with it'll turn into the straw color first. I'm trying to figure out the best way to attempt to hold this stuff while I'm in here. I've got gloves out there. Let's see here. I can always just hang it on this. It shouldn't heat up all the way out here. Something, okay, y'all aren't going to be able to see nothing if I don't turn off the green screen. Let me readjust here for a second. Let me get some stuff. All right, this. Let's put this down. Put this back. And this back. And this back. This back and this back. All right. Now let me turn off the green screen effects to where we can actually see stuff. All right, green screen is now off. So when I move stuff around, it shouldn't look all funny now. All right, good deal. So I don't know how hot this is going to get without, I haven't done this. I always put it on backwards too. All right. Something else I was going to try to do is show it from the side where we could see the color. I think I might try to hold it with pliers. I'm at a loss on trying to figure out how to hold this to where we can see it good. Let me see what I got here. I've got a pair of little vice grips. I've got lots of titanium wire. Wonder if I could put this in here, curl it around, and hold it like that. Well, that's pretty neat that it almost fits exactly like I want it to. Well, let me, haven't planned this out properly, I guess. Give me just a second. All right. So on the little rod that I used to do the lightning anno out there with the ferric chloride, I made a little bar that has a double bend in it, and it goes out and then up, so that when I put something on there, it will it'll stay down there and it won't slide off the end. So that's what I use when I do entropic. And I guess I will put down a little piece of paper so that I can go like this and show y'all the color. That should work. All right. So we're going to go through the different colors here with the torch. I also brought my heat glove, even though this piece of titanium probably won't get hot enough, but I do have some gloves. Good morning, B Shady. So we're just going to get to it and turn this thing gold. One of the things about a torch and heating up metal is you're always going to heat up the middle more than the ends. So be cognizant of that and try to pause at the ends a little longer than in the middle, because you're going to be going through and heat rises. So the top of it a lot of times will get hotter than the bottom. So just try to keep moving evenly, kind of pause at the ends because the middle is going to get more. And as you heat it up, you will start seeing it change colors. It goes through that straw color first, the gold color. So I'm going to try to pause at that and show y'all. Okay, I already went past. Wow. Fire. There's the gold. And you can see on both ends, it started to go past the gold. Wow, it's really burning. I didn't want it, but there's the nice gold color on the top of it there. All right, let's continue going here. I got to figure out how to light this torch one-handed. Hold on. There we go. All right. Like I said, try to be even with your heating. I've got this turned down a lot lower too. Let me turn it up a little bit. Get this over with. About the point that it gets red hot everywhere is where we're going to go to for the lightning anode. This is looking pretty good though as far as the purple and blues go. All right, we've got just about a red hot everywhere, a light red hot. We're going to stop there. We're going to let that cool down. So we're still not getting to the red hot. We're still got that nice gold everywhere and a little bit of blue. Getting a little bit of purple on that side. This is regular propane. MAP gas only gets about 200 degrees hotter than propane. Propane will go up to 2,600 degrees. MAP gas will go up to like 2,800 degrees. I've got both. No point in wasting the MAP gas when this will get it up to where I'm wanting to get it to anyway. And I'm going to get it a little more red this time. Remember, the top always gets a little hotter than the bottom, so just try to keep moving, keep it even. All right, now we're getting red. We're going to continue to let it get red. And that should get past that gold into the blues and purples. And map gas will work quicker. And it's not much more expensive, so it's not bad. All right, I'm seeing the purple start to appear at the top up here. All right. That is glowing red everywhere. So that should give us a good purple here in a second, hopefully. No, this is kind of a thick piece of titanium too. Need to let it completely cool, I guess. But people have asked about heat anode versus electricity, and the heat provides a longer lasting finish. And like I said, this is why I wanted to do this. Because I wanted to show what the different phases look like. And it looks like you're going to have to leave it red for a little while to get it into the purples really good. But we're getting, the sides are staying pretty gold. I'm letting this cool down. I could put it in water to help speed it up, but like I said, I've not done this enough to know exactly how long everything takes. So that's kind of why we're doing it live. I don't mind messing up on live or showing that I don't know everything on live. It's starting to darken a little. But the sides are even starting to turn that purplish color. That side you can see is still a lot gold. All right, let me go. Let's see. Well, let's just get into. All right, so we kind of saw what colors those are. Y'all know I like doing more experiments. So let me figure it out here. I just want to lay this on here. I think it's cooled down enough to not like catch on fire, hopefully. Yes. Let me go grab a can of map gas and see how quickly it heats up with that. See if there's a major difference. All right, yeah, because all this was today was just kind of some experiments. Just to show y'all some things. So, I've got my yellow can of map gas now. I will swap it out of the green can propane. Titanium has 15% off, according to Michael. All right. Now let's see how quickly it turns red with the map gas. I'll try to have about the same amount of flame coming out. All right. So you see what color it is now. Let me see. I don't necessarily want to touch it yet, but we can see that we got some greens in a couple of places. That side looks like a good blue. That's the actual outside that would show to the knife. The inside has that same kind of tint. And then both the sides have a majority. This is a thick little piece of titanium. Let me see if I can show the colors of the... Got some golds. Nice rainbow. Like Pete said. All right. Let me get this map gas lit up. Turned up about where I had it. And see how quickly it turns it red. And we're going to leave it red this time for quite a bit. It doesn't seem to be dramatically getting red hot, like way quicker. I think I do have it adjusted about the same, but I could have it a little lower. It's not quite red yet. Yeah, I think I might have had the propane turned up a little bit higher, but we're starting to get red now. I love the thing about both of them is they don't leave any kind of residue. Yeah, I could probably turn this up a little bit, but we're red now. So yeah, if you've got a torch and you want to do some anno that'll last a good long time, try with a torch. I'm trying to get it really red this time. Alright, that's good and red hot now. It's been red hot for a minute now. I think we're going to stop there. It is definitely red. It's not random. It goes through a process, Pete. If you heat it evenly, it should color evenly. That's what we're trying to learn a little bit of here. I'm trying to figure out how to get it even. And I guess see, we're still got that straw color. Huh. I don't think I had that one as hot because it's not burning the paper as quickly as it is. It is burning the paper, but it's not nearly as hot as it was with that propane. So that's weird. Yeah, I don't think it got much hotter that time. This is a thick piece of titanium. It's way thicker than the scales are going to be. I've not had... It looks even on the sides. It's going to show, once it cools down, it looks kind of that bluish color. You just have to play with the heat. It does turn straw colored first. I'm just not leaving it red hot enough. The best way to do it would be to have a heat oven that you could keep it, you could heat it all evenly. It's not steel, it's titanium. It's non-magnetic. But a heating oven where you could heat it all perfectly even would be the best way to color things. The torch is so, you're going to have hot spots. All right. I think we're done with this experiment. So we're going to go do some real entropic now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hook this scale on there like that. We're going to go out here with the torch. I'm going to leave the map gas on it. We're going to go out here to the garage where I've got the camera set up. Which is, actually I'm going to smoke a cigarette first. But I've got the little lightning anode station set up out there. So let me have a cigarette while we look at something y'all want to look at for a second. And we will do the lightning anode on both the clip and the scales. And I said I was going to do them horizontally, but I don't feel like trying to rig up a place to hold those both as I dip it. And it's a lot easier to dip it this way. I don't want to have to rig up something to hold it horizontally while I'm dipping it. So just to get the process done, I'm going to show the lines will be across this way instead of long ways. Yeah, the oven is the best way to get it even. Nice one, Ed. Did somebody else say something about a cell? Pete's having bad internet issues. I have not etched a blade with ferric chloride. But earlier, I did I did use a stainless steel spoon to get some little particles out of my part of the cap to the ferric chloride. I added some more to this bucket out here. So I added some more out there, and you can see where I was pulling up a spoon on the side, pulling little particles out, because part of the cap, there's still one floating. I don't know if you can see that right in there. Up there to the top, there's a little particle, but that's part of the, you know how bottles of stuff have an inner lining on the inside the cap? Well, it had started to break down, I guess. So when I poured some more in there, some of those little parts of the cap paper went down in there. But it did make a haze to stainless steel, so it was definitely affecting the stainless steel spoon I was using. Yeah, TC has done it. He put a little edge on a couple of knives that look like a... let's see if I can find it. I'm sure he could repost it, but he put a little... I don't see it. Let's see. I'm still scrolling. I think, well, I just went back through John's reblades. How are you liking the reblade from the Etsy guy. Tolerance is just not great, or what, Mr. John? Dang it. Cannot find that picture. All I'm seeing is a stupid fixed blade I worked on forever. There's a funny picture. As I was scrolling up, when we just started working on the blade, was trying to find the one TC did. Right here? Yeah, I think it was this one. Those vinyl stickers, vinyl cricket stickers would work great for that. But I believe you could tape it off. I think he taped that off. It looks a little jagged at places. The action needs work. Pete, what have you etched? Now, I'm not sure if that's what he did on this one, but I think so. Maybe he'll answer us here in a minute. You could paint it on with nail polish. Yeah, fingernail. Yeah, that's what TC just said in the chat now. We said that exactly the same time. Yeah, there you go. There's what that looks like. All right. Let's go do this lightning anno. And if y'all don't mind dropping a like, appreciate, help the algorithm. Yeah, I'm probably going to wait on a REK one too, John. Yeah, I don't know if he used vinyl at all, Michael. I was just saying that's one way you could do it. I guess he can answer you better than I can for sure. All right, I'm going to switch to the phone camera. I need to keep the line of sight in mind, so I need to be right out here in front of the ferric chloride. So what I've got out there is I've got my ferric chloride, I've got a cup of water, distilled water to cool it down. I've got my glove to hold the thing so doesn't get too hot. It probably wouldn't, but I'm just better safe than sorry. And so all we're going to do is go out there and heat it up to a good even temperature. The thinness of these scales should do a little better than the thickness of this backspacer, but we'll see. And then I'm going to slowly dip it into the ferric chloride, and the slower you go, the more lines across it you will have. And the quicker you go, the less lines you'll have. So I'm going to go kind of slow, so we'll get a bunch of lines across it. That will cause it to cool one end of it as it's going down in there. And it might be a fade from one end to the other as far as color goes. The quicker you go, the more the same color it will be. I don't know if all that makes sense. Hopefully it does. But But yeah, I'm going to switch the mic to out there, and then I'm going to go out there. Now, I won't be able to see the chat while I'm out here, so y'all just have to bear with me. I don't have any way to look at it, but you should hear me just fine, hopefully. Let me get my little stuff set up here. So there's the clip. Hopefully, I am in frame here in a minute. I'm thinking somewhere around in here should be good as far as heating it up. If I got my angles right on the phone, and so hopefully y'all can see this. I think you can. I'm going to light this map torch with one hand again. I'm going to get it right below it's really making a chuffing noise. I'll start at the top because heat rises. I'm just going to start slowly heating it. And then I'm going to try to maintain an even heat. I'm going to go down one side and back up the other side. Okay, screw this. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. And I hope I'm in frame. Let me lower it down a little where I know I will be. Heat rises, so focus on the bottom a little bit. I'm going to get this one just to the point of red hot, and then we're going to dunk it. I probably could have used even more heat, but this whole knife is pretty thick, this titanium. These scales are actually probably not the best ones to demo because of how thick they are and how long it's going to take to heat up, but alright, I'm going to crank up the heat just even a little more. Hopefully y'all can see that. This is taking a lot longer than other knives I have done because of how thick these scales are. We are starting to get some color on it now. All right, we're getting color. I'm seeing a little bit of red, maybe. All right, we got a good color going now. Nice purple, nice even. Hit this top just a little bit, get it caught up. All right, we got a nice purple going. Nearly red. Think I'm about to dunk it. All right, about right there, looks good. So I'm just going to slowly dunk it into the ferric chloride now. Just going to dip it slowly. Then I'm going to drop it into the water. Hang it. All right, turn off my torch. Take off my glove. I'm gonna go take this and wash it off real quick in the sink and meet y'all back in there at the table. See what it looks like. All right, guys, got it washed off. I'll be right back in there with y'all. All right, got the microphone back in here. Got the camera back in here. Now, I didn't heat this up as dark as I could have. It didn't get to the purple, and I don't know why it gets these little brown places. Could have been some oils I didn't get off. But here's what we got. So as you can see, I probably let it sit too long. I probably went too slow. But this is the pattern, and it was so thick. These scales are very thick. And I didn't go dark enough to get to the purples. I didn't let it heat up long enough to get to the purple. And then these brown places, not sure exactly what that is and why that happens. I think it's where you focus a little too much heat. You can read up on that, and there's ways to avoid that, and we're all just learning here. I got tired of heating it up, how thick these are. Like I said, the other ones that I've done, let me just show those real quick so you can see the difference. They were a lot thinner and heated up a lot quicker and a little bit better results because I wasn't impatient. But this one is nice and shiny. So polishing it beforehand got it good and shiny afterwards. Oh yeah, I know. So we're going to go back out there and we're going to finish that clip. I forgot I was going to do the clip too. So let me go out there and we'll do the clip real quick, and it'll heat up it'll get to purple. Be able to see that. I don't have a cup of water out here anymore. Let me grab one of those. That clip should heat up super fast though. All right, got distilled water over here on the shelf. Put a little bit in here. You don't have to have that. The ferric chloride would probably cool it off enough. But just in case, we're going to do the same thing with this clip, except it shouldn't take nearly as long. In fact, I'm not even going to put on a glove because I know it won't get hot. I'm going to leave this down pretty low too. We're going to do the same thing with this clip though. I guess if I start feeling heat on my hand, oh, it's already getting red. Yeah, that's the difference between the thickness. Really does matter. Wow. Yeah, I was just impatient and didn't let it get hot enough. This part at the bottom is a lot thicker, so I'm going to hit it a little extra. And I'm going to go a little faster with the dip on this one too. All right, we're good and red everywhere except up here at the top. Now we got a good red color, the same everywhere. We're going to go in here pretty quick. All right, drop it in there. Turn off the torch, rinse it off again, and come back and meet y'all. Wow, this is ugly. All right, so this turned out terribly. We are definitely still learning here. Something I did not do with this one is I did not sand. Something I've never done before when doing entropic is I just pulled this clip off the knife and did not do any kind of surface prep. And I'm pretty sure that is why we got the results we got. I kind of wanted to know what the difference between a good shiny surface prep and a non-surface prep. So we did get a result. But it is super ugly. It did not get good colors. I went in really fast with the dunk, so it didn't get any good lines. It did get some lines, but the surface prep does matter. And that's kind of why I did this clip the way I did, because I wanted to know if surface prep mattered a ton. And even though this one got heated up pretty quickly, the surface did not take the pattern nearly like this one did. I almost mirror polished this one before doing it. The only thing I did with this one is I pulled it right off the knife and I cleaned it with alcohol. So, now, people have asked about getting it off and redoing lightning anno. And I've said, just like with anything else, if you want to experiment, you can always go back to where you were. Let me get this crazy piece of paper off the desk. All right. So this was all just learning experience, which is cool with me. I'm not claiming to be an expert in anything. I've tinkered enough to know how to do some things, but not how to do them perfectly. The more you do, the better you get. So I'm going to take a piece of 2000 sandpaper, and I'm just going to start hitting the top of this, and you will see momentarily that it will come right off, and you will be left with a nice shiny surface. Getting down in the little holes and stuff can be a chore, but I could have used my polishing wheel. I probably should have started with something better than 2000. Let me see what else I got here. I got some little pieces. Here's a 1000. That'll work a lot better. And that's usually what I use, is 1000 to get stuff up to a point where it's looking good. Let me just show you, after a few seconds of rubbing, what we will be left with. And we could polish this up a little bit, go back out there and try again, and then prove that the surface finish matters. That would be a good experiment. So, as you can see, we're almost back to just shiny titanium. And like I said, surface prep usually matters on everything. I don't know why I thought it might not on this. I knew it wouldn't look as good, but I didn't know it would look that much worse. At the very least, before, when I've done lightning anno, I've hit it with 1000 grit sandpaper like this and shined it up enough. And I don't mind, since we're doing an experiment anyway, I don't mind hitting this with sandpaper and seeing what it does to this end down here with that darker spot. But right now, the surface finish on that looks way better than it did. It might have a couple of scratches in it right there that I could get out. But I usually do a good job of polishing the sides, the back, where it interfaces with the knife. I usually do a lot more surface prep than I did on really either one of these. I just hit this one with the polishing wheel for about 10 minutes with the Dremel. And this one, the clip, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything with that either. Actually, no, I did hit that with the polishing wheel on the back side, on this curved side. On this side right here. And it's got a purplish blue color. I think it's a little dirty. But I did not do any kind of prep to that. And it's got a weird looking pattern on it. So surface prep is key. Once again, both of these sides that are flat though look even. And then we got this side that's kind of a rainbow. And I don't know about the quality of that titanium. It might not be 6ALV4. It might be a lower grade. And I don't know about a clear coat. You could. There's no reason you couldn't. I mean, but yeah, that's all it takes to get it back to where it was. And that's all it takes to get the pattern on there. And I dipped that one really slow, so that's why it's got so many little lines across here. If you would have dipped it faster, it might have only gotten 3 or 4. And this is where I let it sit at the top level before dropping it in there. I was worried about my little rod. So I understand why that's up there, but I don't understand why this dark is down here. And this is what I was talking about. Let me see with the 2000, if it'll take that brown off first and leave the blue. I'm just barely applying any kind of pressure. With this 2000. It does seem like it's doing something as far as removing that. It did lighten it some, but I guess it's because it's lightening everything, giving it a little bit of a haze. I haven't tried to polish on top of this with like a super, like a 80,000 or something. But let me press hard here and see if this 2000 will take it down to bare metal. I'm pressing pretty hard, and that's why this ano is way more durable than electrolysis. Because I was just pressing pretty dang hard on there, and it did not fade it much at all with that 2000. Let's try with the 1000. I mean, that's doing the job as far as getting that brown off of there. So that's pretty cool to know. But it is making it a little more hazy than I had it. Let's see what it does up here to this line. Hope y'all can hear me. I'm sure you can. See if it takes off any of that. But heat ano is way more durable. As you can see, I'm sitting here hitting it with sandpaper. You saw how quick it came off that clip. But yeah, it did lighten it up a little. Let's try this inside patch again. I would like to find out. I think it's where you get it a little too hot is where that brown spot occurs. But as you can see, it's coming off pretty good with the sandpaper, not completely. And this is wet dry sandpaper, so I could be using water with this, and it would probably be even better. But it did clean it up pretty nicely. As far as that brown, it was way darker before. So that's something we learned a little bit. The more you do it, the better you'll get. Just don't be scared to try it, because you can try it a couple of times on the same knife. Sand it down and do it again. Anyway, guys, that is the process of doing an entropic ano. It does not look like a Tucson entropic ano. But like I said, they use heat treat ovens that can evenly heat it to whatever point they know will create a certain color. And using a torch is a lot more variables involved. But I hope if you haven't seen that you learned something. And if you have, I hope you learned from my mistakes. Anyway, what else would y'all like to talk about before we end this one out today? Demco, oh yeah, we got a Reddit post. Sorry, I didn't see that one. I would have gone to it earlier. What do we got here? Yeah, I think I scrolled past that one a minute ago. 225 for a 20.5 clip point. That looks like what? Blade HQ? I believe so. Let's see. Yep, Black Friday sale. 225. Clip point. Are any of the other ones on sale? Yes. Including the Grivery handles. $99.99. What is that middle? Do they all have that? What's going on? Yes, they do. Never really paid attention to that. How much is the... Wow. The shark's foot is $390 compared to that clip point that was $225, so that is a difference. Yeah, that is quite the difference. They also have the plain one for $225, which is the one I would prefer. Nobody's said anything in chat in like 15, 20 minutes. I guess I'm just talking to myself again. Oh well. Well, guess I'm going to end this one up so nobody's paying attention anyway. Hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving. And spend some time with... Morning, Robin. Oh, I know you're here, but I thought the chat was broken or something. I mean, who knows what's going on. We've been going an hour and 48 minutes anyway, so about time to end her up. So, price. They don't have a way to sort from the best discount, but there's a D2 DLC one for 95 bucks. D2, here's 3V. What else we got? So 198 and 189 for 3V on the Demco site. So that's better than Blade HQ. Oh, it says 225. The smooth one is 189 though, instead of 225, and 3V. Yeah, don't cut yourself carving the turkeys today, that's for sure. Clean them before you cut your turkeys too. 20 CV. 20 CV is about the same price. Not much different. And you can get the shark's foot blade. That's pretty cool. Happy Thanksgiving, Mr. Gonzo. Well, episode 314 is in the books. 51 days until a full year. I have to work tonight, so that's always lovely. You don't have any good kitchen knives, John? I love my 2 Benchmade clones. Everybody should go grab one of those station knives. They're really great. Just run over to OK Knives, type in station, pick the kind you like. Guess they're both the same, and grab you one. Those are awesome kitchen knives for 55 bucks, and they come super sharp. Yeah, grab you one of those. Anyway, guys, appreciate y'all. Oh, TC Blades had one last thing popped up. What was that? Buy one, get one. Well, there you go. There's another good offer. I'm going to give away my whole collection for the 1 year giveaway, Christopher. I don't know. I have not thought about that yet. Yeah, let's see some pictures of you cutting it with your knife, WDD. That polish really did help with that, bringing that brightness out. But I did not heat it long enough to get to the purples. But the blue looks good, I guess. They probably charge you full price for the one, so you're probably still getting... there's always a catch to those too good to be true deals. They probably charge you full price for the... Let's see. Oh, these are the... No, they only charge you $159 because it's G10. That's pretty good. So let's see. Add to cart. Add to cart. Check out. And what's the code? Whoops. Logo free. Must have both blade shapes in cart to receive offer. I've got them both in the cart, but it's not doing it. Is the code BOGO? No. Yeah, I put them both in the cart. Maybe you have to be logged in, but no, I don't think so. Not sure. Maybe it only starts tomorrow. I'm not sure. Doesn't say anything on here about which code to enter. So, I don't know. Got them both added. You don't have to sign in because you can put a guest email and check out. I wonder if it, oh, it ended on the 25th. Well, there you go. Oh, well. Why does it say Black Friday deals starting early if they're going to end on the 25th? That's pretty crazy. All right, guys. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Have a good Thanksgiving. Peace.